And so JJ Redick recently interviewed Devin Booker, and they talked about a lot of things with the Phoenix Suns. And one thing that came up was JJ Redick's hot take on Kevin Durant. And I quote, "Whatever happens for the rest of Kevin Durant's career, we're going to look back in like 10 or 15 years and be like, why did we spend all this time with all the bullshit discourse and not just appreciate literally one of the greatest basketball players to ever play this game?" It's not going to happen, by the way. We're going to keep this in the podcast, and there's going to be a million comments on YouTube about why I'm wrong and why he shouldn't have left Oklahoma City. Who fucking cares? He's literally one of the greatest players ever, and we spend too much time on the bullshit instead of appreciating his fucking night-to-night greatness. Booker responded saying the real ones know and everything else is clickbait. So Kevin Durant, for his career, is a 14-time All-Star, 2-time NBA champion, 2-time Finals MVP, 2007/8 Rookie of the Year, 4-time scoring champion, 10-time All-Star, 2013-14 MVP, and is a part of the NBA 75th anniversary team. And for his career, out of the 1,146 games played, he's averaged 27, 7, 4, and basically is 50, 40, 90. So my question for you, Terrence, is why do you think people, lack the appreciation for Kevin Durant?
I mean, bro, I think for two reasons. I think um, playing at the same time as LeBron James is a really big negative. I think if you look back at like Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon, who in my opinion was like the second best player at the time when Michael was playing,
Yeah.
I think like historically or even today, like he might not get the same amount of like love or appreciation because so many people were idolizing Michael at the time. And I think the same thing happens with LeBron. I think he in himself, I think everyone who knows the game of basketball and who just watches knows how good he is and appreciates him. I think obviously the narrative switch, and I think that was going to be my second answer, is how the narrative switch, post Golden State. That now looking back on it, like I don't really blame him for it. I was just a hater for like watching it on the floor happen at the time. I don't now apply that to who he is when he was in Brooklyn or who he is now today in Phoenix. I understand that no matter where he's playing and what team he's on, whether he's first in the West or 10th in the West, like that he's going to average 27-7 and on 50, 40, 90 shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can appreciate that as a basketball fan.
Mm-hmm.
But I think so much attention and love. Like think about it, bro. Mike or LeBron just passed 40,000 points. Like that's what we gonna talk about on ESPN. And Kevin Durant don't really move the needle popularity wise as much on talk shows and things like that get the popularity of your name going. And I think too. This doesn't have anything to do with basketball, but like I think it took him a long time to figure out what his personal brand was outside of basketball as well, which then makes it hard for your fans to connect with you outside of basketball. And I think LeBron or either these new generation of athletes are doing a lot better job of kind of like personalizing themselves off the basketball court. And I think that kind of also aided into why it took so long for Kevin Durant to like kind of find his voice. Then you also had the whole like the troll accounts and shit on Twitter, like just acting weird. Like I think that also just kind of feeds into like the negative about Kevin Durant thinking too much about what the outside people think. Because JJ Redick said that, right? He's like, okay, we're gonna get a whole bunch of comments about this. Why don't we just appreciate the game? But like it seems that like if Kevin would just not give a fuck, just be himself, which I think he is doing now.
Now more than ever.
Yeah, like I think people would just appreciate that and be like, you know what, like I went to Golden State, I did that thing, I won 2 championships. It's cool, it's part of my legacy. But you can see it still kind of bothers him how fans look at him and portray him. But I think the biggest reason is LeBron.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think the biggest thing is LeBron. I mean that sucks, right? You got like in the NFL, you got Mahomes right now. You got other quarterbacks like Lamar, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, all that. But you just in the era of greatness as well too. But the biggest thing is always going to be Golden State, whether we like it or not, as well too. And I was kind of mad in the moment when he went to Golden State, but I did learn to appreciate as well too, because like when you said with his brand and everything as well too, when you think of KD, he just loves to fucking hoop.
Yeah.
So it just made sense to go to a team like Golden State where they're just all about, pace and space and just playing that certain level of brand of basketball. He didn't really have that in Golden State as well too.
It's just like that organizational excellence. Like I can't fault him for that. Like that Golden State during that period, even still today, like they just do things well as an organization.
Yeah, it's crazy because like if they would have straight up got beat like in 6 games and were never up 3-1, and he joined that, would the narrative be different a little bit? You feel like if they weren't up 3-1? Because they won 73 games still, or
yeah, I think the 73 games because ultimately like that record let everyone know in the NBA from top down, from players to executives to coaches, like everyone in the NBA knew that that was the best team.
Yeah, best team.
So even though they didn't win the championship, like ultimately, if you put the second best player in the NBA on that team, it's always going to create that unbalance.
And for the GOATs, it's just kind of a respect thing as well too. But it's like back in the day, obviously there really wasn't that much player empowerment, so you had to rely on your GMs to kind of build stuff. So and they said it's like, why wait?
The competition too, like that has to, like I think what people would have wanted to see or just heard him say maybe in a boardroom interview, like because he has his own podcast or something like that, like I think what people would have wanted to hear is like, okay, like I went to Golden State and I did fuck up the balance of competition in the league, because like that would have been great to just hear him come out and say.
You think he did fuck up the balance? I mean, he kind of did fuck up the balance of competition, but didn't these other teams fuck it up too?
Who?
Like when LeBron went to the Cavs, like who in the East could compete with them niggas?
When he went to the Cavs and they had Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, and
what other roster was like really giving them any problems in the East?
I
mean, and then in Miami, I mean, you probably had the Pacers.
Yeah, the Pacers
for a little bit.
Yeah,
but like I feel like it was a foregone conclusion, like who was gonna end up in the finals.
I mean, yeah, fair in the East. I mean, shit. Bron showed you without Kyrie, he was gonna get there anyway. So I mean, I don't know.
That's true.
I don't know.
That's true.
I don't know. I mean, I hear you.
I mean, it was like
it's just the timing, because
the
ultimately,
timing was bad.
I don't even know. Like, I can't remember where Miami really was before Bosh and Bron joined them that summer. But I know that they wasn't in the finals.
Yeah, they weren't. But you still putting arguably 3 top 10 players on the squad. That's still kind of crazy.
Okay.
It seems, I guess, a little bit more organic since they weren't. I feel like they weren't even a playoff team that the year before, right?
Yeah. And I mean, again, like, I still feel like even though the fact that Dallas beat them, like, nobody had a chance against Golden State. Yeah. Nobody except for that Rockets team that they hit that.
We don't know about Spurs in 2016, maybe.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'll never know from Zaza.
Yeah, Kawhi. Yeah, that was horrible. I hated watching that replay too, just seeing that. But yeah, man, they could have did something. You never know for real. But yeah, them 27 3-pointers, man, you gotta do better.
But the thing is, like you said, with social media and him as well too, it like. Obviously, he buys into social media, 1, and then 2, when you have teammates coming out and saying some shit like Draymond, like, we don't need you, that kind of just is like, all right, everyone knows, like, you try to create your greatness and you gotta go out there and prove it. So obviously, you try to go to Brooklyn, but you can't really put Brooklyn at. I mean, some people are saying like it's his fault because he chose to leave and create this team with Kyrie, but it's like. Before that, I mean, obviously Kyrie was like a little injury prone and whatnot as well too, but we didn't see COVID happening. We didn't see Kyrie missing games and whatnot. We didn't see these injuries piling up like that. So, like, do you really kind of hold that against him?
I don't really hold it against him, but what I think everybody wants to see when we put that greatness moniker on someone is we want to see that moment that Kobe had post Shaq. Yeah. We want to see that moment LeBron had after D Wade. You know what I'm saying? Like we all wanted to see that, and he knew that that's the whole reason why he went to Brooklyn is to do that. And he had
the team to do it.
He had the team. You know what I mean? And why did all 3 of them say fuck it? We can't be here. Like I get it. Like the Steve Nash was a horrible hire,
terrible hire,
but like. Y'all couldn't stand pat. Y'all couldn't, like, it was almost like AAU. Like, y'all did a summer or 2 summers and just was like, fuck it, I'm going to go play at this college or whatever. Like, it's just like, damn. Like, I would have wanted to see him lead a little bit more. And it feels like when he comes out and says it's just all about basketball, it feels like it's just like, I don't care about the outside or, like, being the leader that I need to be in order to make shit work. And that's a part of greatness.
So part of greatness is being a leader. But What about leading by example? You want him to be more vocal leader? Because I'm sure he's having these conversations, in the back, timeouts.
Yeah, for sure. Like for sure. I mean, being
saying?
the best player on the team for sure. Even though I know Kawhi barely talks, I know he be talking and shit. But like I think with Kevin, like we've just not seen it end up in successful results.
Yeah.
So I think that always gets put as a part of his legacy as well.
Mm-hmm.
When I didn't hear like the specific JJ Redick interview,
Yeah.
but like I think it sounds like he's one of the most consistent performers, scorers we've ever had in this league. Just appreciate the talent and greatness.
Yeah, I mean that's what he's gonna go down for. Like when you think of KD, you're just gonna think of a freak of nature who has the size of a center but plays like a guard and is very efficient in what he does.
And appreciating the numbers and the scoring greatness is one thing. Then putting him in the same position with Mike, Kobe, LeBron is something else. And I think what it sounds like is that he wants him to be in that group. Is that true?
I
don't
so.
think he's to earn that. Is what my point is. And I think what a lot of regular NBA fans' point is, he don't deserve to be there.
So do you think if because he has 2 right now, you think if he were to just get 1 more, he can kind of throw himself in there? If he did it the way in which society wants him to do it,
as in like if he won with the
Suns, yeah.
See, I see. This is where things get murky and kind of gray. It's like, where do you feel about like Chuck's or Charles Barkley's like bus driver,
bro? I mean, yeah, like it's Devin Booker's team. He got drafted by that team. He was there when they were shitty. He helped take them to the finals with Chris Paul on that roster with Monty and all that. But like, if you even look at the stats, bro, Katie, I don't know, bucket too, man.
Right, but I guess the reason
why
why
when it comes down to it, like the ball's gonna go in Katie's hands. Everybody know that.
Okay.
So I think they. Both
I'd have to see a dominant
like
Finals MVP performance. Yeah. If he did that, I feel like okay, fine, yeah, give it to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, give it to him.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
But
man.
you gotta win without Steph, bro.
Yeah.
Just like Kobe had to do it, just like LeBron had to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's just tough, man, because like I said, like roster construction matters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Roster construction matters. GMs matter. Players' availability matters. A lot of luck that goes into winning, but it's like he signed. I always say this a lot. It's like he signed a deal with the devil to get them chips.
Yeah.
With Golden State.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since then, it's just been upset after upset after upset after upset as well too. But I think when it's all said and done, like I wouldn't be surprised with like top 10, top 15 all time.
I'd be comfortable with that.
Yeah, I'd be comfortable with that as well too.